Alright, Scorpio, welcome back to the Mother Tressa channel. For those that are already familiar with this space, then you already know what to expect, of course. So I'm glad to be interacting with your energy again. Go ahead and come on into this room. But if you are new to this channel, potentially even new to tarot altogether, then welcome in to this space, and definitely feel free to be your most authentic self wherever you are energetically, be it positive, negative, or neutral. It really doesn't matter so long as you leave better than you came, okay? Like this video, share it with friends and family if you feel like somebody else needs to hear this message, somebody that you may know that may be going through something, trials, tribulations, or triumphs, you know, to either end. Definitely share it with them so that they too can become aware of energy and transits and what's going on. But let's get into your reading. You guys, okay, you have the Page of Swords that came out with the Devil card and the Emperor. Funny enough, the Emperor was at the bottom of the deck. He kept eyeing me as I was cutting the cards for you guys, so I was curious to know if he would come out, and here he is front and center. But then you guys also have the World card that just flipped over. Okay. All right. Followed by the Five of Pentacles. Followed by the Queen of Pentacles. Just keeps getting better and better for you guys. Oh my God. Scorpio. Followed by the Magician. And then at the bottom of the deck, you guys have the Two of Wands, the Moon, and the Five of Swords. Once I finished shuffling the cards for you guys, the Moon card was the one that was at the bottom. So funny, it's still kind of lingering around. Check into your moon placements. You might have a moon in fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But let's see here. You have a lot of major arcana cards. This hasn't happened for a while for any of the zodiac signs. I'm hearing a tale of two cities. Interesting, because I don't really remember what happened in that book. But you can also, I guess, interpret that in a way of there being three sides to every story, right? There's your side. There is the person who you may have been involved with in any way, shape, or form, and their perspective and how they saw the scenario. And then there is the ultimate truth, because you know there are some things that can get lost in translation. There are some people that tend to embellish stories when they tell them, and so they can be exaggerating things. This can also be you at this time. I'm also hearing dragging it out, so some of you guys are just dragging a certain situation, place, or thing out, and it's time to just let it go at this point here. If you're involved with somebody romantically, it just flashed in my mind, so I have to say it. I feel like they're just kind of telling you everything that you want to hear to get you to do something for them. Like they have an ulterior motive. So just be very careful with this Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles that came up in your spread. Just be very careful of what people's motives are at this time, especially because you end with the Magician too, and this is the trickster, somebody that can very easily manipulate others, and they tend to prey on those that are gullible and or sensitive and or just very generous. It's very hard to hide that, especially when it is your nature to be so loving and carefree and generous. So just be very careful with who you involve yourself with at this time. I feel like somebody's just trying to kind of like fill your head up with ideas, and that's kind of where that moon and fire energy can come into play, and it can work to your detriment. Somebody trying to fill your head up with ideas of things to do that are just very risque in nature. Just trying to be like a troublemaker or instigator, if you will. And I'm seeing the moon in Sagittarius kind of playing out with this energy here. So if you are doing that with other people, just make sure you're not trying to put them in a situation or circumstance where they could lose money, where it could negatively affect their reputation and or their job. Because, you know, sometimes readers, they see this Five of Pentacles as somebody losing their job. Or where it could cause a rift between them and somebody that they could be romantically involved with. If you're just trying to be playful at this time, because that's what we can do, right, to kind of flip this and make this a little bit lighter, is that you're just more so in the mood to like do silly pranks, then that's what this can be as well. And that's all good and well, so long as you know you're not going to do anything that, again, is going to trigger somebody, that can like really just hurt somebody physically, mentally, or emotionally. Then it's all fun and games. So be careful of those who may come around you at this time. And again, they may be like pumping you up, making your head big or whatever, giving you all these compliments in the world, and that's not something that they naturally do. I just feel like in front of your face they're playing nice, but the very second that they feel like maybe you are in a better position than them, then you can start to kind of see them throwing these underhanded digs at you with this Five of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Magician energy. Backhanded compliments, I'm also hearing that, or just talking about you behind your back. And it's all in an attempt to tarnish your self-esteem and or your confidence, so that you come off of whatever cloud or pedestal they feel like you are on, because they don't feel like you are righteous or that you are deserving of more than what they have. It kind of comes with the territory, and I know that you Scorpios know this, but just be very careful. Again, not everybody is your friend. Make sure that also with this Page of Swords and that Tale of Two Cities, that you do lead a double life to some degree, right? I feel like you guys get a bad rep for wanting to be a little bit more introverted and or reserved and private with certain matters and things that just happen to go on in your life. And so maybe constantly hearing that, it's made you want to be the opposite of. And then you wanting to be a little bit more extroverted or just a little bit more uninhibited with this Swords energy here, and just being one to kind of tell all your business, or being the type of person that will be the one to like make fun of yourself first before anybody else has that opportunity to. But now's the time to go back to what is, I guess for lack of a better word, you can say expected. Go back to what is expected of you and the way that people perceive a Scorpio to be. Because it's going to be so much harder for whoever this is to be able to attack you and or attack the good things that are actually going to be coming into your life if they don't actually know what's happening. Especially if this is about like a workplace environment that you are existing in. You have your work friends, but then you have your personal friends and your personal life. Don't try to enmesh the two, because I don't feel like that's going to work well. It's not going to work to your benefit here. All right, don't add your work friends to any of your social media platforms, because again, that gives them more access to what they naturally would know about you, and again, that can backfire in the worst of ways. But in matters of the heart, Scorpio, you can be dealing with a Capricorn, can be dealing with an Aries, earth sign energies here, or Cancer or Gemini as an air sign, heavy, can be wanting to reunite. Just be very careful, because the World card came up in Leo's reading, but it didn't seem like they were truly in love with somebody that they have called back into their life. They thought that was what they wanted, but then they met the reality of the situation and all of the elements that were still missing that are actually necessary to be content in a partnership. I want to extend that same warning unto you guys if you're trying to reunite with someone that you've had a relationship with, because with that double energy, if it's not about a Capricorn specifically, you can have been with somebody that was just super manipulative, you know, and just very toxic. And they could have been doing it consciously or unconsciously with this Page of Swords. It just kind of just depends on how they chose to embody that air energy. But I definitely feel like they played a lot of mind games with you, kind of led you to believe that things were more than what it really was with this Queen of Pentacles energy. They may have put you in positions where they made you choose between your work and them, your family and friends, and them trying to kind of isolate you, just so that they can have you all to themselves. But even when they had you to themselves, they didn't really treat you like you were a prize, like a princess or the prince. Whatever, gender doesn't really matter here. But just definitely did not honor you in the way that you need to be catered to as a person, did not have respect for you, or maybe even see you as a human being. So just be very careful if any of these things are triggering at this time and kind of making you reminisce back to the past, or giving you those flashbacks of how bad it was. Like, just keep that in mind when you start to feel like, oh my God, I miss them. I miss the routine with this Pentacles energy of waking up and knowing that I have somebody to talk to, somebody that I can share my woes with, somebody that may have been supportive, but again, it was only to a certain degree, you know, because once you got too far, then that hit their self-esteem, and they were maybe a little bit more insecure than you were and where you are, and so chose to kind of dehumanize or degrade you in certain ways. Just be very careful of that. Defame your character is also coming through. I'm getting that some of you guys, you have very prominent scorpionic placements outside of you being a sun sign in Scorpio, and so that can work to your benefit as far as you being able to manifest things. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's really in the mind. You need to rewire your brain and the things that you think about, because whatever it is that you put more of your attention onto, and this also came up in Leo's reading, is what will materialize before you. So if you know that you deserve better in terms of a partnership, start thinking about what that looks like for you and what it is that was missing before that you want to have into your life that would make you feel a little bit more complete and or happy, though you know also, right, that you are whole as a being, you know, without needing anybody else to come in to add to you. Anything else is just a compliment, right? But it's not going to be a substitute or anything like that, you know what I'm saying, for anything that you lack, because you lack nothing. At any given moment, also know that you have everything that you could ever need, and should you need more resources, all you have to do is again ask or think about what it is that you will need, and you will find that other people will have that and be wanting to gift that to you at this time. But again, with love, just understanding like, okay, you need to start envisioning what true love looks like for you, and or what it feels like for you, what it tastes like to you, and just also where you see it moving outside of the attributes, like what you guys do together, what you guys enjoy together, so that you can call in better and stop dealing with these people that are just very shady and or two-faced, or just unreliable altogether. People that have ulterior motives, okay? You need to graduate out of that level. It's time for you to really assume your role and to really tap into your power. And I know for a lot of you guys, you're done being downplayed, and you're done having to dumb yourself down. You're smarter than the average, and you have your intuition to back you, and that is also what you can use to your advantage, okay? Personally, to get ahead of the game, to stay 10 steps ahead with this magician energy. That's what you're learning at this time, how to stay 10 steps ahead, and how to also be resourceful with all this madness that's going on in the media. Now is the time for you again to turn it up a notch and to show people that you are not afraid of scarcity, because you are Scorpios. You know what I mean? You live in the desert. So this is nothing new to you guys. This is not your first rodeo. So show these people that you are nothing to play with. These people that you're dating, you need to start scaring people with speaking your authentic truth and what it is that you will and or won't tolerate, so that they know what buttons not to push. And again, you can scare those away that were only coming in to try to take advantage of you and or use you or abuse you, okay? And or to try to siphon your power from you, because they see it in you. They see in you what sometimes you fail to recognize in yourself. Your instincts have never led you astray, so don't start to doubt them now. Now is not the time, okay? So that's what I have for you, Scorpios. If this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, subscribe if you haven't yet, and book with me should you need to. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and your soul until you see me again. Ciao.